Hey guys, welcome back to another video tutorial series. In this series, we're going to demystify the language of written music. Seeing musical notations for the first time can be intimidating, but it's actually not as difficult as it seems. Let's take a look. Most of us have seen the musical stuff at some point of our lives. We have 5 horizontal lines and a squiggly thing that's right in front of it. The squiggly thing is called the treble clef. More about that later. Here is a very simple scenario on how written music would look like. How do we make sense of that? 2 main factors that we have to deal with. One is pitch. Pitch is determined by where the note is drawn on the staff. The higher the note is on the staff, the higher the pitch. The lower the note on the staff, the lower the pitch. Next thing that we have to deal with is time. What is time? How long do we hold the notes for? The duration of the different notes are determined by what symbol is being drawn. If you realize, not all the note symbols are the same. In this diagram, we are going to look at the different note symbols that correspond with their appropriate time values. At the top here, we have this round note which we call a semibreve or whole note. The semibreve receives 4 counts each. Here's an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that was 4 counts. Further down the tree, we're going to divide that into half. And half of 4 is 2 counts. These are how 2 count notes are represented. They are called minims or half notes. And how do we count a series of minims? Let's do it together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite simple, right? Let's divide the minim again by half. And we'll get this symbol here which we call a crotchet or quarter note. Each of these crotchet receives 1 beat each. Let's count that together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we count crotchets. Let's divide that into half again. And we will see this symbol right here. Similar to crotchet, except we have this flag-like thing on top. We call those quavers or 8th notes. Each of these receive half a beat. How do we count half a beat? Quite simple actually. We're going to say the syllable and in between our numbers. Here's how it goes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Moving on, we're going to talk about how to identify our different pitches in music. In music, we identify our pitches through our alphabet, but only from A to G. And if you realize, after G we go back to A and the pattern repeats again. It goes both ways. Further we go this way, the higher the pitch. The further we go this way, the lower the pitch. Over here we see our treble clef again and our staff. Basically every line and every space in between the line represents a different note or pitch. Notes drawn on the line and in the spaces in between the lines get their own specific pitch. Here's how we identify them. On the lines, we have E, G, B, D, and F. How do you remember that? More of a phrase. Every good boy does fine. And in the spaces in between the lines, we have F, A, C, E. And what does that spell? Yes, you're right. If you realize, from the line into the space, we are going up the alphabet. Over here, we see another different kind of symbol. We call this the bass clef. Basically, it represents notes that are of lower pitches as compared to our treble clef. The same thing, we have our lines and our spaces, but now the notes on the lines and spaces are no longer similar to the treble clef. Let's look at the lines on the bass clef. G, B, D, F, and A. How do you remember that? Good boy does fine always. And the spaces in between the lines. We have A, C, E, G. Remember that. All cows eat grass. Over here we see a note that's beyond the 5 lines of the musical staff. It's drawn on a short little line slightly below the staff, and we call this line a ledger line. Ledger lines are used to extend notes beyond the range of the 5 lines below and above the staff. Over here we have the note C. If you recall, the note on the first line is called an E, because every good boy does fine. Assuming that if I have a note here below this line, we'll consider that as a space. Then the alphabet before E would be D. And what's the letter that comes before D? If you guess C, you're absolutely right. We're going to have a whole series of notes come up on the screen. The notations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Here's how it goes. So we have C, C, G, G, A, and please guess this last one. If you guessed the G, you got it right. This is the first line of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Here's how it sounds like. Refer back to the previous part of the video if you got a bit lost on what are the notes on the staff. Next up, I'd like you to try to figure the names of the following notes on the screen. If you need a little more time, feel free to pause this video. Here's how it sounds like. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. One more time. I hope you got the answers right. Here's another example for you to guess the names of the notes out. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little more time, and we'll discuss the answers in a little bit. First we got A, G, G, F, F, E, E, D. At this point in time, you have already figured out all the notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We're going to flash the notes of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star across the screen along with how it sounds like. Here it goes. We've reached the end of the first episode on our tutorial series on how to read sheet music. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time.